Okay, here we go. I'm gonna bring it home. You ready?
Yeah.
Because we're at Forte Hair Salon. Right here on Broad and
then I'm gonna ask y'all one else.
Best barber in the city.
No, I'm not.
All time.
No, I'm not.
Is Mark Lightfoot.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
I gave him a award, but he's not better than me now.
Once again, you find yourself at the sports shop, Forte Hair Salon, Broad and Stenton, usual suspects, Eitan Shander, Jeff, Toot the Barber. Look who is back. Anthony's back. Mike's back with us as well. And we have our special guest, Suzie Hunter. And Suzie does a great video podcast. Pardon me, it's like a video show.
It's a video show, yeah.
It's what this is. So we wouldn't call it a video podcast. I guess we call it a video show. But it centers around food, which is perfect because it's a nice blend of food and sports. I'll let you explain exactly what you're doing, but it's perfect now because we're right around the holidays and we're getting ready to stuff ourselves silly with anything Thanksgiving related.
I have been warming up all year for this.
Nice.
I stuff myself every day. So the show is called Nacho Scout. My partner Amanda and I go to different stadiums and we try all of the food. So it's, you know, really centric on the nacho part because that's like our favorite food. So we usually start there, but the crazy thing about the Linc is, you know, we went there to do the video, they don't have nachos anymore.
What? They cut out nachos?
They cut out nachos, they weren't selling, but it filled in the gap with like a lot of other really good new stuff.
What are they, so what's the biggest supplement, I guess?
Crab fries.
Yeah?
Oh, see, crab fries are everywhere though now. They have
It's
crab
watered
fries.
down, it's oversaturated.
They have crab fries in New York City now.
Really?
Yeah, at the Yankees minor league team, the Staten Island Yankees, they have crab fries there in New York City.
She knows her stuff.
It's ridiculous.
Look at that.
I like, didn't know how I felt
She said
about
Staten
it.
Island. I mean,
Susie's also a Philadelphian, so knowing about food comes with the territory.
Exactly.
When you go
Can't
get
be from
you
here.
get a cheesesteak in Montana and it's not going to taste like a cheesesteak. You know, everybody's trying to rip that off.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
New York pizza in Arizona. You know, it's not the same thing.
How much of a variety, though? I'm just trying to think of games that I've gone to and sitting next to, or the times that I've ordered nachos. I always feel like they're pretty much universal nachos.
That is not the case now. So I mean, like the classic, like, you know, stadium nachos, or, you know, the cup of cheese and the chips, and that's it.
In the plastic.
Yeah, no, but we've gone beyond that at this point. You know, we're topping them with all kinds of stuff. But yeah, the big trend that we're seeing in nachos now, people are like putting barbecue meat on it, which is fun, but I'm like, okay, it's a little overdone at this point.
And
I feel like Homer Simpson with the barbecue meat
It's good,
nachos.
it's good, yeah.
I feel like Toot might like that.
What? No, I don't like that.
But not
You don't go nachos?
No, I like nachos with no barbecue meat on it. Just give me the straight nachos.
Don't be afraid, man.
I'm not afraid. I'm
I can see Toot being the nucleus guy, you know, like going for the chip in the middle that has all the cheese and everything on there, and leaving everybody else with like flakes and skin and nacho. Yeah, you gotta eat around it, man. There's nacho etiquette, right? As far as going out.
There is, yeah.
So how do you eat nachos? Like, which way do you eat them?
I eat them like that. Well, you know, you start on the outside, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nacho etiquette. I didn't know that.
But see,
yeah.
I always start in the middle.
I think
Everybody wants to eat nachos with me. I can't figure out why.
everybody has a style though. Everybody has a style, and if you eat nachos in a group, like, people might reach for the same chip. So like, I'm pretty sure that you could expand upon that. Cause like, think about it, right? If there's one that has like a lot of cheese, a lot of salsa verde, whatever, and like, a lot of people might be eyeing that same chip.
That's what I mean. You got to get to the point. It's almost like you're getting to the middle of it. So you eat around the plate. It's a spiral. So think about it. You've got a circle, right? I'll draw you a little image
I would
here.
say that's a good strategy.
And you start like a
That's good
spiral,
group
so you're
strategy.
going slowly to the middle. So it's like by the time you and I get to that middle chip, if there's one chip with all that crap on there, you know, we've all had enough nachos where I can be like, all right,
You know that one there?
no, I'll let my man have it.
You know what I would do? And please back me up on this one. Just, I thought everybody their own nachos.
Own nachos?
Just,
Yep, no, he's right.
Yeah.
me,
my God.
nachos are supposed to be the shareable dish, but they shouldn't be because
They're not.
everybody likes it different. Like I want the crap all on it, and I know like my wife wants everything on the side. So
just-
it can't work. We're not compatible nacho eaters.
No, so just add extra. Like, give me extra junk. Give me extra everything.
So then nobody
And
wants it.
guess what?
Bring it to
You have
the
your
end.
own.
So that's how you make
Like,
it.
I think nachos is a group meal. Like, you know what I mean?
It shouldn't be. See, that's a stereotype. Everybody thinks it should be. You should have your own personalized nacho.
All right, but think about this though, in the context of you doing your show, where you're going to these ballparks and you're going to stadiums, nachos, it's not, we're not sitting there watching a game. You know, it's not like, well, technically we are, but I'm saying at the house. Right? We're not on a couch, you go up to the bathroom and clean yourself up when you got it all over the place or whatever it may be. You actually have, you're sitting in a small chair that's too small anyway for you. The person next to you is not giving you any elbow room. And you've got this small little plastic compartment where you're just spooning this liquid cheese from these plastic-like nachos.
This is like a nacho nightmare.
Yeah, that I've lived before. You can tell, right?
I was about to get to that point. Like,
Maybe.
this sounds very real.
Something from the
There might have been a nightmare or two at Shea Stadium back in the day. You know, it might have happened, right? It might have happened. But
Flushing.
is it the most ideal meal, you know, for a live game?
You know, it's messy. I mean, to be fair, I won't order the plastic tray with the cheese. I won't order the dippable nachos.
Right.
Like, that's a waste of space in my stomach. I want a little bit more. But no, it's tough. I don't know why they don't come with wet naps.
Wet naps.
I don't
Everything should come
understand.
with wet naps.
I
That's
agree
why
with
they have
that.
a stack of napkins, like.
Yeah, but then you're walking down the aisle, down to your seat, and you're that person with this whole stack of napkins, and everybody's judging you because they're like, oh, they're just waiting to make a mess.
I mean, people judge you for much worse, so.
Well,
Things have changed so much now, though. Like, there's sushi at
Yeah, no, like, that's like the whole thing with stadiums now. Like, it's not just the game, it's like you're getting a restaurant with this game.
well, you mentioned the Linc. I mean,
It's the
Yeah.
decline of Western civilization, to be honest.
pretty much.
It really is.
well, but it started with, think about this, it started with Citizens Bank Park, right? Where you had this beautiful stadium that was designed with all the different places to eat, and if it's Harry the K's up top, or all the little spots you can eat. And it was almost designed so that if the game was shitty, you have a lot of different things to do and keep you in the ballpark, as opposed to some cold, sterile stadium where it's like, oh man, my team's getting smoked, I'm leaving.
Not in 07, 08, 09, and 2010. Not during
You don't have to worry about
2011.
that games then, but
Yeah, but
after that.
nobody's going to predict that.
After that, the food became the drawing card for that stadium for the last few years.
But think about this too. We also live in a fatalist society here in Philadelphia, right? Where we're just waiting for the end. So nobody's preparing for a World Series when they're building a stadium.
I'm just glad they got it
Preparing
done.
for the worst.
I'm glad they got it.
Now wait, I gotta ask you this, being a food expert, because I tend to associate certain foods with regions, right?
Yeah.
So nachos are ubiquitous, but I would feel like you would get the best nachos somewhere in the Southwest. Am I wrong about that?
You're not wrong. I'd say the best ballpark nachos that I had, I went out to Denver, it was at Coors Field. They have this green chili queso on their nachos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh
good.
my god, they're amazing. It's so good. It's
There we go.
spicy, it's flavorful, and like there's nothing like it on the East Coast.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if the Linc serves cheesesteaks and you get one in Seattle, I'm sure it's gonna be a lot better here.
Yeah.
See, food and culture go together.
See, I haven't even been. Has anybody been to the Linc recently and eaten?
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
I eat in the press
I was
room.
going to get your expert opinion, but I was going to go as far
I
as.
eat in the press room.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
But
Don't give our secrets
Yeah,
away.
seriously.
the best
I mean, like
press
going
room food, because press room food usually isn't that good. But the best press room food is Philly's.
Well, they had the ice cream too. They had the Turkey Hill ice cream. So that was always
Yeah, Turkey Hill ice cream?
Yeah, and they have like 11 flavors.
But you have to pay for it.
No, oh yeah, yeah.
As a member of the press, you have to
You're
pay.
a company
Not everybody.
Oh, we got ice cream too.
See, look at this. See, AG walking out with free ice cream. I mean, giving away all the secrets now. The worst I ever had was in Nashville. So the Titans, this was a disgrace. The Titans, I don't know if anybody's ever been there.
No, I've been there.
For press, right?
No, not the press. But I was just there.
The stadium isn't that bad, but press, they serve you popcorn and popcorn. That's it. And then at halftime, they serve you these hot dogs. And it's this tray of hot dogs. And it's the funniest thing ever because all the visiting media are salivating for something real to eat because they've just been snacking on cold, stale popcorn. But all the home media knows that if you have even a bite of that hot dog, you're going to be spending the rest of the game in the bathroom, right? It's just the nature of those hot dogs. So you watch this line of visiting media just sitting there like, yes, I can't wait to get my hot dog. And 20 minutes later, half the press box is empty.
So I have a question. How was the hot dog?
I just needed to see one person. That's all.
I figured since you were visiting.
No, I lived down there. I was down there for 2 years. Yeah, I covered the Titans. So I would watch people fall in this trap. You know, every now and again you throw somebody a bone and say, hey man, don't eat that hot dog. And you know, it's like telling somebody on a tightrope not to look down. What are they going to do?
Look down. It's funny though.
So they go right under the
like how sheep, we're like sheep with food, because to your point, in Baltimore, they'll give the media a crab cake at halftime, right? And it's Baltimore crab cakes, so everybody, including the whole media, wants in on it. But the funny thing is, it could be a really close game, and they do this at halftime. You start to see that line form early in the second quarter. Yeah. So people have just stopped paying attention to the game. Figure, oh, we'll catch the second half. I just got to get my crab cake. By the time you get in the line, you're like 30 people deep waiting for that crab cake.
And missing the game.
And missing the game.
All right. So we go back to the original question as we all moved away here from press box crap. You know, our elitist mentality is press.
Yeah.
Actually eating the food that's not nachos at the Linc. How was it? And you apparently are the only one here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So they have a bunch of new items. Some of the things that they were going for, the food team was going for, was bringing these like brunch aspects into the food. So there's this burger called the Hail Mary, and there's a burger called the Hail Mary, and there's a pork roll on it, a beef patty. We've got a fried egg, so it's very brunchy. There's this one new sandwich called the Slim Chicken. So it's fried chicken that's encrusted in frosted flakes. It's topped with maple bacon,
I'm gonna try that.
Cooper sharp cheddar, and it's on an apple fritter.
Are you serious?
I'm
that's the
serious.
bun?
And that's the bun.
You have the frosted flakes of bacon.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
Is it close to like chicken and waffles?
Yeah, that's like what they were going for.
In a burger. No, the bun is the fritter. Yeah, but it's that taste, that I want to coat everything in frosted flakes.
Yeah, I loved it so much.
Yeah, bacon, not so much, but frosted flakes. Yeah. All right, so we're just getting started here at the sports shop. We got a lot to get into, including Joel Embiid. There's concern that he might be running his mouth too much. I don't know if anybody here shares that concern. I know I don't, but still to get to that more on the sports shop. So the straw man has already been created on social media. It's already started now because you can't have fun anymore in professional sports, especially now with the advent of social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's just impossible to go out, play sports on a professional level, and then post something, have fun, even talk shit anymore. Like, that's a lost art, because unless you're Dr. J strangling Larry Bird, vice versa, new age, new form trash talk now is looked down upon. But let's be honest, Joel Embiid has not only mastered it, but he's escalated. I mean, he's taken this, he's elevated to a new level. He's evolved trash talking. But as I say, the straw man has already been created now online, where it's too much. And he's going to run into the wrong guy. 7'2", 280, he's going to run into the wrong guy on this planet.
I saw that with Bomani Jones.
Yeah, and again, you know, I'm not calling anybody out specifically, because Bomani was one of, you know, hundreds of people who were thinking, oh, you know, it's only a matter of time. But let's be fair with ourselves right now. I mean, A, it's a kid who's out there having fun, and everybody seems to love it that he's going up against. And B, he's using social media like tweets and Instagram posts to integrate his shit talking, which is, it's like second level at this point. We haven't seen something like
Is it really second level to use social media?
Yes. Okay, here's why. When you put somebody's name on the location of an Instagram post,
I get what you're saying now.
that's second level, okay?
Yeah, he makes you discover.
Like when you're dunked on Nerlens Noel, and then you remind him about it when he signs with Dallas. Like, I look forward to playing you again, and then the big picture of you dunking on him. That's second level.
No, but not everything's second level.
He's having fun. Right?
It's never universal.
At the end of the day, basketball, sports should be fun. Absolutely. And some of the greatest have trash talk. We all know Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers.
One of the worst.
But there was no social media at the time, right? Michael Jordan. Yeah. He was terrible to his teammates. I know you love him, so I'm not going to say anything else about Michael Jordan.
But it's worthy to bring it up.
But he was terrible to his teammates, but he brought out the best in them, right? So now, here we are in 2017, where everything is a little bit too sensitive and over-sensationalized. I say, hey man, he's 23 years old. But what do you think he's going to do? He's going to use that platform.
We judge guys. You mentioned Larry, you mentioned Mike, greatest trash talkers champions though.
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
He wasn't a
long
champion.
time. He was not a champion. Great player for a long time though. The only thing I think about this Sixers team, and I'm not like anti-fun or anti-trash talking, is
Yes, you are.
I am. They do talk a lot for a team that's done nothing yet. I mean, I would have liked to seen them kind of build up their resume before they start telling
Who's talking outside of
Embiid?
Ben, can I say
Is he?
this? Can I say this?
Ben
though?
does it the way you love it. He's second level, like always on Twitter with LeVar Ball with the eyes, right? When Lonzo does something, has a bad night, you know Ben's on Twitter like,
Yeah, so like 3 million other
he's got his
people
sister.
talking about Lonzo.
Yeah, when he's playing in the game,
Well,
he's the
check
player.
this out. Now, I know he was joking around, but after the Warriors had that epic comeback in Philadelphia and beat the Sixers, I'm sitting right next to Durant. And he's like, yo, we had to win that game because I know Joel was going to get on Twitter. Mind you, what you didn't see in the frame, Joel Embiid's down the hall. He's down the hall standing outside the Sixers locker room. So after the interview was done and he's like ribbing him for it, he goes down there for 30 minutes. And he's just talking to him and just vibing. So it's all in the game. It's cool. It was just love. And then Joel Embiid is so tall, he makes a 6'11" KD look my size. I'm sitting there like,
I just think it's in a generation. That's how they communicate. Because I
did
talk
the same
trash.
thing.
It just wasn't
That's a
on
big trash
social
talk.
media, you know what I mean?
All of my trash talk is on social
Like,
media.
all-
All of it. All of it. I don't see anything anyone says.
one of the ways I got into the game was to trash talk. The trash talk was not only to get my opponent off his square, but it was also to get me excited. You know, the Fab Five was the same way. They were up in people's faces, but it was more so that they could get hyped, and not to like, I dig it. And as things have changed,
This generation gap.
Yeah.
Because like at first I'm like, I respected the trash talk on the court. Now like you got when Embiid and Hassan Whiteside are going at it over Twitter, I'm like, this is like childish a little bit. Go at it on the court,
things have
but
changed.
I'm 41.
things have changed.
21.
Now, if you
I
were
know.
17, it would make perfect sense to you.
You know what? You know what this comes down to is how you view battling trolls on Twitter and social media. So if you don't entertain it, and I know like you two come
I
down here all
know
the
you
time.
do.
Yeah, so I'm
don't.
guilty.
I know.
Although I've been good like the last month, right? I've been monitoring my social media habits specifically, but I can't help myself. Somebody said-
help Toot monitor his.
Oh
too.
no, I'm giving it straight raw to the point. Like,
See, that's how I was
like,
too.
It's just in me. Like, it's in me to be that way. Like, if you say something to me, I'm gonna say something back, and we just gonna
Especially
keep
during
going.
Cowboys week.
Yeah, I had one call me out for a fight. He was
Just
like,
one?
yo, meet me. He said, meet me. A lot of them probably want to, but I think they scared to put it out there. He was like, meet me. You getting too personal, but he called me a chick because he said I was stalking the Cowboys, and I just went at it. I just called him all kinds of names, but it was nice though.
Right.
But like, but listen, do you like having to adjust to that? Like, cause like put it in the music realm, right? Hip hop. The rap battle is now a Twitter battle. It's stupid, right? It used to be, whether it was Pac and Big or even going back, Shan, Roxanne, that was cool. They would answer each other in music, and we had great rap battle music to listen to. I can't get with athlete Twitter battles and be like, oh, I'm on side team this guy or I'm on team that guy. It's stupid. But it's entertainment, isn't it? For how long though? That's
I just say,
Yeah, I mean, how can you not? Like, here's the thing. You actually, but here's, you do get.
on, everybody.
I was about to say, you're dating yourself.
You should mute them all. Mute Ben Simmons, mute Joel Embiid, get them out.
Things have changed. Like when we were kids, you know, people said, I can't believe, you know, he's getting in that guy's face on the court, or he's dunking on him and pounding his chest. They didn't do that when my dad played. So it's things
What are they
change.
gonna do 50 years from now when we're all in, you know, rocking canes and walkers?
You know what they'll do? They'll purchase a robot and send it to that person's house to deliver the message. Like that's.
All right. It was trash talk in the not to get off the subject, but in the Eagles Dallas game, Alshon said in the camera, they can't F with us. You know what I mean? After we was winning. Do you think that's wrong for him to say that?
No.
Nobody mess with him. But they
he also went like this. Like after 2-point conversion, like chill. Like I love that.
But you got to see that though play out. They were trippy that game. That whole game, at least you got to see it play out on the field. You didn't have to run to Twitter to see Alshon going, you know, making all that.
But Embiid and Draymond played out on the court.
They did.
They play out on his play out on the court.
Nothing
His start on the court and then he take it there. Like that's why I can respect how he do it. Now he didn't say nothing on the court. He just went on there and said it.
Yeah, that's whack.
Here's the thing though, I want to find out or at least identify who the candidates would be to go up to Joel Embiid man to man
And say, look here.
and physically back it up. Not only say that, but be the first guy. Yeah. I don't even know. X-Man, I don't know who he's dealt with. Anybody's dealt with. Like Embiid is somebody brand new. This is somebody that nobody in the planet has ever done.
Here's the rule. Here's the rule. And just so you know, Jack, I know you want all the kids to stay off your lawn. The rule now is if you don't Snapchat it, Instagram it, Facebook it, tweet it, then it didn't happen.
Oh, that's true.
That's the rule. So even though it takes place on the court, and yes, my team won, we got the W, I still have to rub it in your face on Twitter or else it didn't.
I'm scared. You're making me think like the movie The Matrix was an actual real life documentary. That we're all just plugged into the internet, living life like this, and then our minds are
I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. But red or blue pill. You know what I'm saying?
Red.
So I can't get enough of it. I think it's fantastic entertainment, to be honest, as we just continue this and kind of wrap it up a little bit. To see how social media is being used now for the younger athletes, I mean, it's just pure entertainment.
It's their time.
Right, and I think that it's creative. It doesn't have to be all second level, Jeff.
All right, listen. We need to get the NFL owners all on Twitter. They need to resolve this shit on Twitter. See what Jerry Jones and Arthur White going at it on Twitter. If we're gonna do this, we gotta do it for everybody.
Let me ask, what's the best ideal mode? Would it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat to go after somebody?
Definitely Twitter, because you can get it retweeted everywhere and you can like kind of see in numbers how many people are on your side.
But I'm told that Facebook, like only that more people are on Facebook than on Twitter. Like everybody and their mom is on Facebook.
Yeah.
Only niche people are on Twitter.
In my opinion, Facebook is for an older user.
That's true too.
And Twitter is a little younger.
Like your age.
Like my age, yeah.
Alright, so
I like to say sophisticated. Alright, not older, sophisticated.
There we go.
So Twitter for trash talking, shit talking, Instagram for pics of your baby, or Facebook for pics of your baby.
Instagram and Twitter combined for trash talk.
Yeah, see, I think
it's combined. If you use them together,
especially now,
you can say what you want to say, but if you put it on Instagram and Twitter, it's a wrap. It's gonna blow up everywhere. Now for your baby pictures, and stuff, you put that on Facebook because you're gonna get more
or from whatever you ate this morning.
Real quick.
That baby ugly.
Yeah.
That baby is ugly.
Twitter is like the pit. Twitter is evil.
Twitter is a microcosm of the real world.
No, I think Twitter is like
Twitter because
no, it's a microcosm of the underworld.
Yeah. Twitter is upside down. Stranger Things.
The character limits on Twitter force people to give you the hot takes though. Whereas Facebook, I can really expound and get into detail and nuance. Twitter, I'm 30-second hot take. I'm coming at you and then you're out.
Yeah, but are you really reading somebody's four-paragraph Facebook post?
No.
See, so once they went to 280, I was out. Like as soon as I saw people start posting at 280,
if you know how to do it.
It's flooding my timeline, man. I don't need to see people
because you don't have to be clever no more.
But
140, you have to be clever. You have to pick your
creative. 280.
How much have you used?
Like they draw those pictures.
It's too much to read.
It's creative,
right?
It's just too much. If I wanted a book, I would pick up a book.
As a writer,
and your timeline
it doesn't bother me one bit.
Well, she's a writer too. I'm with you. So you got writer versus writer crime.
No, it's all good.
You just like to expound and lay it all out. My timeline gets flooded.
Well, I think with 280 you can still be creative because you know I have 280, you have 280. It's like less is more.
No. Less is not more.
Depends how you spell it out.
All right, winding down. Still one more to go here live at the Sports Shop, Forte Hair Salon, Broad and Stenton. All right, Thanksgiving, as we get ready for a lot of food, and we've talked a little bit about food in the first segment. Suzie Hunter is joining us. She's got a great show, YouTube, Facebook. I'll let her explain where you can find Nacho Scout.
You can find Nacho Scout, like you said, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and at nachoscout.com. So please give us some views.
Definitely.
We make really great videos.
Absolutely. So, looking at, let me ask you this, I'll throw this out here. What's the worst, like what doesn't belong on a Thanksgiving table that has become mainstream now?
I don't know if this is mainstream. I saw some people on Twitter talking about serving salad at Thanksgiving, and I think it's disgusting. It has no place.
Salad, just
Salad,
like,
salad. You're wasting space in your stomach on these like leafy greens when you could be eating actual food. That's really good.
I love it.
Alienating vegetable lovers and salad.
Hey, stay home.
No, I'm not saying I'm not. Listen, I
Eat better vegetables.
can eat for 3 hours and not put a vegetable in. I'm not fighting it at all. But there are a lot of people. It's normal for them, especially a big family dinner, to have a little side salad. Like you're kind of telling them that there's no room for that.
Toots out on the salad too.
I'm out on the salad.
You're out on the salad?
I'm out on the salad.
We should just all get together and see if we can ban salad.
Like that's why they had like fruit baskets, an array of like walnuts, almonds, and stuff like that on the table, so you can snack on that stuff instead of a salad. I would just be like, come on, take that.
So you're putting salad in the snack category with like nuts and dips?
Snack.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a snack.
For the people who just like the one little salad, salad.
Keep that on another table entirely, like on a little junior table.
And I want to see a turkey, a chicken, and a duck all stuffed together. Whatever it's called.
When did this thing start?
That is not how nature intended
What
it.
is it?
John Madden.
That's John Madden.
These are Madden start. See, I just found out about this today.
In the 90s, they
hell was I?
used to actually have the bird out there on the games on Thanksgiving Day.
But I remember-
Maybe like a turkey with a chicken inside of that and a duck inside
On
of chicken.
Thanksgiving,
On Thanksgiving.
that was the turkey legs that they were giving out.
And he would draw the X's and O's on it, you know? I used to love that.
But you know, it seemed like a violation of some kind of laws of nature to have that happen. That just like, how did it get that way? I don't want to know.
In the food chain, and that's not how.
Yeah,
it
it's not how it
What's
works.
the second meat? Because turkey's the shell.
Duck, yeah. So it's the
duck gets
no,
stuffed.
the turkey and the chicken and the duck.
and then the duck.
It goes in order of size. You can put a chicken inside a turkey.
Duck is a very tough meat to match. I don't know why people would want to just stuff it. Like you've got two different types of dry with duck and turkey. A lot of things could go wrong there. Who the fuck invented that?
John Madden.
And I don't want to see a hot Cheetos turkey. Y'all see them on there?
Yeah.
A hot Cheeto.
Wait. Hold on a second. I'd eat a Frosted Flakes turkey though. I would eat a Frosted Flakes turkey in a heartbeat.
Let me ask you
Deep fried turkey is amazing.
I'm a big cranberries guy, but I don't want my cranberries the I guess the correct way, which is like natural with the berries in it. I want the one that comes out looking like a jar. That's how I like it. When it looks like a jar is how I like it. Yeah, the cheap way.
I like that one too.
It's like the cranberry looks like the can. It's got the indentations on it. Yeah. And then you know what I'm talking about, the cranberry sauce.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I want no parts.
39-cent can of shot right. That's what you want.
I want no parts of that. Give me the real cranberries.
I don't mind that. The only thing I don't like is macaroni and cheese that has not been baked in the oven.
But hold on.
If it's not baked, then I'm out, man.
But when is it ever acceptable for macaroni and cheese to not be baked?
You would be surprised.
No.
You'd be surprised.
Hold on a second. What might be acceptable for somebody to serve is not necessarily acceptable for somebody to eat. So somebody might try to slide by some box top mac and cheese.
I'll call you out. I've been known to that. Who brought the
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would too, yeah.
There is a flag on the plate. I need my baked macaroni and cheese and sweet potato pie, and I'm good, man.
Yeah, pumpkin pie is overrated, right? We all agree?
No, pumpkin pie's legit.
Nah, it's overrated. It's over for pumpkin pie.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Whoa. All right, let's not pit A versus B here.
No. It's sweet potato.
But hold on a second. It's Thanksgiving. If there's ever a day where you could be gluttonous, it would be Thanksgiving.
It's
so
sweet
you can have
potato.
your pie and eat it too. How about that? my point though is, forget sweet potato pie for a second. You're anti-pumpkin pie? Like, it's one thing to say, okay, sweet potato pie is better than pumpkin pie.
I'm anti-pumpkin
but to be
pie.
anti-pumpkin pie is, I can't
See,
comprehend.
there we go. Right on time.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Right on time.
It looks like a quiche. I don't need that.
That sweet potato cream cheese.
Oh, that's sweet potato.
Look at
All
that.
facts.
All
All factual.
All right,
right on time, man.
we can taste it. We can taste it before we.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? If the mind can conceive it, you know what I'm saying? Like right on cue, bro.
Is that Sark? Who said that?
I don't know.
If the mind can conceive it.
Maybe it was too.
What did I say?
If the mind can conceive it, hands can make it.
Oh yeah.
That was you like 2 weeks ago when we had Harriman's here.
You've been corrupted by the pumpkin takeover. Like for some
No,
reason,
stop.
we have to have pumpkin in our coffee, in our beer, in our pasta.
You think there's a pumpkin conspiracy?
There is every fall. I see
is,
it.
though.
They're trying to push pumpkin.
They put
Pumpkin and kale.
We must train the swamp.
This one I was done.
Conspiracy and pumpkin.
This one I was done with pumpkin. When I'm in a Dunkin' Donut drive-through and I seen they had pumpkin cream cheese for the bagel, I was done. I was like, no, they putting pumpkin in everything, man.
Okay, but that's like saying you won't eat an apple because apples are now in everything. Well, pumpkin pie is the original. Pumpkin pie is the OG. You're gonna go against the OG?
No.
I'm about Squanto right
Pumpkin
now.
pie is the OG?
Nah,
Pumpkin
absolutely
pie
not.
is not the OG.
Pumpkin pie just got here.
Yeah,
Sweet potato pie
Got here.
is the grandfather.
All right, let me throw this out at you.
I think we need to go back to our history books.
Cranberry sauce shouldn't be on the table.
Yes.
It should.
Is there anybody that would honestly agree? Because I'm anti.
Listen, I don't like
cranberry sauce. No, cranberry sauce.
I don't like
But not the
I
good
don't
way.
like fruit.
See, if you're anti-fruit,
No, I don't like fruit at all.
See, I love fruit. I want no parts of cranberry sauce.
thank
Keep
you.
it away from
See,
me.
You don't even
smart
want the
man.
can?
No, none of
They
it.
went when your grandma pop it open and cut it like that.
Yes.
That's how I want.
This man knows. He knows.
Hey, man.
You don't need that fancy stuff with
need
the
that.
cranberries in there.
You don't need that can anymore.
Oh man, the can. Some stuff in the can is.
Let me ask you this: what's
always-
better, a hole-in-the-wall restaurant or some fancy place in Center City? What's
A
gonna give you the better
hole-in-the-wall.
food? That's why the cranberry out of the can is better than that bullshit sauce with the little cranberries in
What are
it.
you telling me, Dad? I can't get a good meal at Morimoto's?
Well, what he said, you can, right? You can, because I
You get a
definitely.
better one if you took Morimoto's and put it in the middle of the hood.
It might
and
be
just, like,
cheaper.
yeah.
If you put Morimoto's
Made in a hole in the
on, if you
wall.
put Morimoto's on 5th and Wyoming, the food would definitely taste better.
It would.
Because at 5th and Wyoming is one of the best Spanish restaurants in the whole North.
Oh, we have to talk. I didn't know that. Cuban?
Yeah, Colombian.
Good enough.
Cuban
All right.
Tierra Colombiana.
I've been there a couple times. Yeah, good food.
So the best part about, real quick, is we just look at the Eagles, because if we don't even bring it up, I mean, he's wearing his Alshon jersey, the hat, you know, I know we got Cowboys fans somewhere around here.
They left.
They left.
They went back.
Ran them out.
They went back in hiding.
But
Exactly.
we have a San Francisco fan here though.
That's fine. Well, you initially were one too for your anti-Dallas.
Yeah, but I was.
That's fine.
I was.
But it's more just, and I'm not even saying like being thankful. This Thanksgiving just feels different because of the sports scene and because of what's happened in Philadelphia. I mean, you just got back, you know, living up in Connecticut, but you'll feel it right away, where there's just this mood, this level of happiness. And it's not even like a quick passing where you say somebody, oh yeah, no, it's Super Bowl. It's like you'll sit down, you'll talk about Carson Wentz, and then right as you're leaving, right as I'm about to be like, all right, and oh wait, I forgot to bring up Ben Simmons. Oh yeah, we're talking. Oh wait, I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, Embiid, did you see? It doesn't stop. And this feel, like this level of emotion that we're experiencing right now, it's simultaneously with a holiday where you're just told to eat as much as you can. It's a good combination.
It's just great. I mean, it's the holidays, and both the Sixers and the Eagles have 9 wins. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. What do we do here? like it's really time to give thanks now.
Now, Suzie, is it difficult being in Connecticut when the Eagles are doing so well and you're just not among the people? I know you're home for the holidays and everything, but like you're missing this. Like it's been a long time since the hype around this team has been so real.
I definitely wish that I was, here and getting to tailgate every weekend. But also, people in Connecticut are like, "Hey, congrats! Like your Eagles are so great!" So it's
Are you sure that's
weird.
not condescension from those Patriots fans?
I'm just gonna choose to view it as but I think people are genuinely happy for me.
I got you. Gotcha.
I figure like there's one fan base that would have any type of, I don't even know what you would call it, but would come down and just try to like wet blanket our excitement. Be the freaking Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Because Cowboys, they can't say shit anymore. And the division's wrapped up. So the only thing, 04.
I mean, technically, of the NFC East is that you have to have at least 3 Super Bowls to be a member.
Wow.
I mean, so
Talking about web blanket.
I'm a big Eagles fan, and you know, I would love for us to get there because, hey man, the Redskins have 3, the Giants have 4, and Dallas has 5.
Don't let them.
Ant's gonna be the only guy.
Don't let them throw salt. Don't let them throw salt on us getting
Eagles
one.
are gonna win the Super Bowl. Ant's gonna be the only guy the next day be like, we kind of need 2 more.
They need 2 more.
That's the argument you'll hear from the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's the next argument
Right.
from the Cowboys fans.
But you know what?
That's just walking in here. We beat them 37-9.
I got one more caveat.
You got some man. You better keep it going.
That's right.
Keep it going.
That's right.
You better keep it going. I'm kind of happy for you.
Thank you.
I'll be waiting to see you though.
Sweet potato pie though, right? Sweet potato pie. I got one more thing though. One more thing to that point.
That's what happens at the shop.
Yeah,
People just
anybody.
popping it. That's what it's about.
We show love. Today's love day. You know what I'm saying? In the NFC East,
Never love down there.
no team plays in the city they're named after except the Eagles. So like, yes, we've always been the outlier, but I would love to get that parade from 309 all the way down to South Philly because that day is going to be vainglorious.
That sucker's going to Wilmington.
Is there some like merit badge that the Eagles get because they actually play in their city limits? I've been covering the league for 15 years. It never even crossed my mind that the other 3 teams don't actually play in the city.
If we
that they
played at
represent.
PPL Park, we win 5 Super Bowls. That's all I'm saying. The Chester Eagles.
Okay.
How would the food be down there?
It'd be great.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, thanks. Thank you, Suzie, for popping in.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back again next week. Again, Nacho Scout. What's the handle so people can follow it?
Just at Nacho Scout.
Okay, cool. And we'll get everything up on screen for everybody as well. For everybody else, we'll be back next week. A post-Thanksgiving, post-holiday edition of the Sports Shop. Forte Hair Salon, Broad and Stenton, each and every week. Come on by.